Forced stimulus check. This is JOVITALATE with your forced stimulus check and forced stimulus package update. Why do I have to say this? Why do I have to say forced stimulus check and forced stimulus update like a robot? Why? Oh, because it indexes the video better on the algorithm? Why do I care about an algorithm? I'm JOVITALATE. I care about scars. I don't care about an algorithm. I mean, forced stimulus check and forced stimulus package, I'm just supposed to keep on saying as many times as I can so the show ranks really well, even though I'm going to just talk about scarves in the show. What's the purpose of these things in life? I mean, life is supposed to have explained things that make sense. Going to the beach in 7 scarves in the summer makes sense. Going to the TJ Maxx sale and getting 5-for-1 scarves when it's on sale makes sense. But, repeating, this is your forced stimulus check and forced stimulus package update for January, whatever month it is. Why would people do that? To get money? Oh, let's say it again then. Let's just keep on saying it. Good evening, it's LALATE 9, and this is LALATE, your lighthearted, easy breezy humor video. If you're looking for a stimulus check, if you're looking to figure out when you're getting your $1,400 third stimulus check, or when you're going to get your monthly 4 stimulus checks, your student loan debt forgiveness, your EIDL grant, your PPP, your mortgage, it's not in this video. It's not in this video. Because that's not what LALATE Night is about. It's about keeping you fun and informed. It's very funny seeing even the comments from last night's video. People who have been with this channel for over a year know what I do. My concept was in 2020, when the pandemic was ravaging Americans, is that people needed a laugh, and that sometimes they needed a laugh. And that in a day in which we have 10,000 other videos that can inform you what the latest updates is on your forced stimulus check and forced stimulus package, that you don't need another video about forced stimulus check and forced stimulus package, that this forced stimulus check and forced stimulus package update, algorithm, do you hear me? Forced stimulus check and forced, that it could focus on some humor. And with that, I'm so excited to bring back from the roaming range of Cadillacs and Mercedes, your wonderful, illustrious Sirloin. Thank you for joining me back tonight, Sirloin. Oh, how are you? I'm just very excited. What happened to JOVITALATE? She was here and then she just ran out. Yeah, it's on Saturday. Scarf day. She likes to scarf down the scarves so she can get them. Sirloin, tonight we have new video I want your input on. Oh, yes, of course. And the video is from the press secretary of the United States. What does she do? She presses things? She presses the president's suits? No, she does not press the president's suits. She presses his pants. She's like the ironer at the White House. She irons his clothing. She presses really well. I personally don't like my hide pressed that well. No, she does not press his clothes. She is not the dry cleaner at the White House. She is the publicity. She just answers questions. Well, at least she tries to. In this video, Sirloin, I want to see if you think she answers people's questions. Oh, really? Okay. Well, let's go to it. Let's get it to it, Elliot. In the last few days, the press secretary has asked a series of questions. And in these videos, she's repeatedly asked, is the president really having bipartisan negotiations with the Republicans on anything from background checks to forced stimulus? And it seems like she's not really being particularly responsive to the questions. Let me hear your interaction and your thoughts on each of these videos, Sirloin. Okay, let's go. Here is video number 1.
That this is a priority to him, it's a priority to the vice president, it's a priority to Susan Rice, who's leading the Domestic Policy Council, to Bruce Reed, who's a deputy chief of staff, to Ron Klain, who's the chief of staff and is from Indianapolis. And this is a constant discussion and issue around this White House. So it's not going to require a czar. It is ultimately a priority to the president.
A czar? Who's a czar? Is this Russia? I thought Russia went away with the last administration. Why is she mentioning the czar? No, that is a term that refers to someone in control. Yeah, we do like the word czar in the United States. I really don't know why.
The United States, which is the most important factor.
On legislation just a few weeks ago, I asked the president if he was going to be making phone calls to Republicans in particular in the Senate to try to advance the background check legislation there. He said he would be willing to. I know the jobs bill has been the priority. Is there more you can say about the kind of outreach he's been doing on background checks specifically?
Well, I don't have any calls to read out specifically, but I can tell you that.
Whoa, what do you think about that,
SIRLOIN?
SIRLOIN? What do you think about that, SIRLOIN? She doesn't really answer the question. He just said, has he made any phone calls? Has he moved the compass? He hasn't made any phone calls. I mean, why doesn't she answer the question? Let's listen more, SIRLOIN.
Republicans about a range of issues, but there are a lot of topics that certainly come up, and
they talk about the cows. They did not talk about the cows. She said they talk about a range of issues. She's on the range, sir. LALATE, I told you. She's a cow. How do you know she's a cow? She said they're on the range of issues, and they're ready to move the goalposts.
You know, he believes that, you mentioned the third mass shooting. It's actually the third mass.
And then, SIRLOIN, there was another video from the White House in that same press briefing. Let's see her exchange with the reporter. Let's see your reaction. Okay.
We're hearing you talk over and over again about the president's support of the House bills, but right now it just doesn't seem like you guys have those votes in the Senate. But we've heard from some Republican senators a willingness to work on a more limited package around background checks. So why not pitch something a little bit more limited, try to get something across the finish line? Is the president willing to engage on a more targeted background check bill?
I would say that I would punt that question back to the Republicans who.
Oh, LALATE, she's not answering the question again. And she's playing football. I mean, I thought she's the person who cleans his clothing and presses it. Now she plays football with the president? Why is she punting the question back to the Republicans? I don't think the question's I don't think she's very responsive either. She says, let's ask someone else answer your question, Madam Reporter. Let's listen more.
Who are not supportive of universal background checks or an extension of that, which 80% of the public supports. So our question to them would be, why don't you support what the vast majority of your own constituents support? And this is an expansion of background checks, which prevents guns getting into the hands.
And then there was another exchange during that press briefing with this reporter. Let's see what this reporter said.
Of splitting it between, just a traditional roads and bridges infrastructure package and then another one with everything else in the American Jobs Plan. Is that something that the...
So in this video, SIRLOIN, the press secretary is asked, would the president split the fourth stimulus into two bills, infrastructure and everything else? What do you think so far about the question? What's everything else, me? No. Why would well, it's always about the cows. It's always about the cows. LALATE, you know this from 2020. The cows always get stimulus before everyone else. And so the question's really interesting. She wants to split the infrastructure bill into roads, bridges, and cows. What, SIRLOIN? Yeah, she wants cows as part 2 of the bill, and part 1, the bridges we destroy because we watch over them. We're sort of heavy people. No, that's not what she's asking. Well, what else would be second part of the bill? $12 ice cream? No. Cow Willock? No. Cappuccino? No. Mercedes? No. So what else would there? Well, it's cows, LALATE. Okay, maybe it is. Let's listen into whatever that second half of the bill is. I just love when reporters ask questions and they don't even make sense what the questions are. The second half of the bill for something else. Let's listen to that second half of the bill.
The White House is seriously considering...
I would say that...
Is the White House seriously considering, SIRLOIN, the reporter asks, what is the antithesis of seriously considering? Laughing about it. I mean, the reporter says, is the White House seriously considering the idea? That means considering the idea without having $12 ice cream on the brain. What? When you drink too much, when you have too much $12 ice cream, you get a little brain freeze in the head. So are they considering the bill without $12 ice cream hurting them in the head? I think that's what the reporter's asking. Are you seriously considering it? Or are you just sort of, considering it without $12 ice cream? Let's listen to the remainder of this exchange, if I can find it. Here it is.
the president's going to have a bipartisan meeting next week and a number of meetings next week where a jobs plan is going to be central to that. There are a lot of proposals floating around there. One of them is from Senator Coon.
Wow, LALATE. She says proposal and proposal and meeting after meeting. It just sounds very vague, LALATE. It just doesn't, it just sounds, I've eaten grass that makes more sense than this exchange so far, LALATE. Yeah, it just seems very, very vague. Meeting and sort of meeting and proposals, and maybe she'll make it clear. Let's listen in.
Coon, of course, is a close ally of the president, but there are a lot of different proposals out there. So he is very open to hearing different ideas, hearing different ways to get these big ideas he's put forward, this historic investment to modernize our infrastructure, create millions of jobs forward. The mechanisms for that, the construction of it, the pieces that it could flow through, he's very open to what that looks like.
So LALATE, so SIRLOIN, do you agree with her contention that the president is very open to suggestions for other ways to do this infrastructure bill? Absolutely not, LALATE. Absolutely not, LALATE. That's just, I have eaten grass that makes more sense than that response. No, the president wants climate. The president doesn't like the climate in D.C. He's very upset about the climate in D.C., and he's going to go to the mat until he gets better climate because he decided to live in D.C. Now, if he was in Delaware, where the climate's really good, he wouldn't be pushing for climate. And if he lived where I live, on the herd, out on the range, you wouldn't be pushing for climate. But because he's the president of the United States, because he lives in D.C., where the climate is just awful, it's about as bad as going to a clam bake for Mitch McConnell and then seeing him and Nancy Pelosi doing the tango. It's just so bad, the climate in LA and DC. I can see why he wants to do a climate bill. Now, if you invited the president of the United States to LA with me on the range, he would forget about the climate in about 10 seconds. But he probably want to buy a Mercedes. That's very insightful, SIRLOIN. That's very insightful. Let's see what else the press secretary had this week and see whether she was unresponsive in this exchange as well. Let's see if she answers anyone's questions this time.
On the infrastructure bill, Speaker Pelosi says that she wants to get this all done by July 4th. So how much time is the White House willing to negotiate with Republicans before you start making big decisions about what to push through?
Well, we'd like to see some progress and some forward movement by Memorial Day, and the president would love to have the package.
Did you hear that, LALATE? Yeah, I heard that move. Yes, LALATE, she's a movement. The president's a cow, I told you, LALATE. It's very interesting because here she says he wants to see some proposals, some negotiations. In the prior video, she said she's already had the negotiations, the proposals. So it's just, I don't know. The only thing that's changing is her outfit. Yeah, yes, that has changed.
Package signed or passed, I should say, this summer.
Is the White House encouraging the Senate to pass a traditional infrastructure bill through regular order with Republicans?
Well, we certainly believe there should be agreement. There is agreement on a number of components. We were in.
SIRLOIN, you see that confusion? I am confused. First she said there was no agreement on anything. Then she says there is something agreement on something. I'm a cow and I'm having problems following this.
We've been encouraged by many of the conversations that we've had to date. We look forward to hearing alternate ideas or different ideas as they come forward, and there should be an opportunity for that. We're also quite open to what path this takes. We're not going to predetermine whether it has to all happen in one big package. There are different components that could move forward, certainly on their own. And right now is the time where members and their staff and committee staff are doing the hard work of determining where there's agreement and how what vehicles pieces can move forward through.
Do you see confusion with that press briefing, SIRLOIN? I do, LALATE. First she says we're looking to see some progress between now and Memorial Day, and then she says we have progress already. So I just think she's sort of confused. If this was a cow, we would not be confused. We as cows know when we go from this lawn that we ate to that lawn. Why? Because we look, the grass is gone. we ate the grass, and we're like, we've made progress. We've ate the grass. It's time to go to another lawn. Oh, this has not been eaten. Let me go eat this. Like, LA, your lawn. No, you're not going to eat my lawn. You're not going to eat my grass. They're like, well, I'm just using, like the lawn of the White. You're not going to eat the White House's lawn either. So like, well, why not, LA? It's probably delicious. It's just, but that's how LA, we work on progress as cows. We eat. And if it's eaten, then we move on. I assume that's how Nancy Pelosi would. You mean her? No, LA, don't put up that picture. Oh, sorry, Shirley. I know that always bothers your eyes when I put that picture up. Let's see another video from the press secretary. Oh wait, is that the video from before? No, I guess it's just I guess she has a couple of these outfits in sort of the same color scheme. Yeah, and I think there was another one that was red from Wednesday. Let's listen in to this exchange from the press secretary, now in blue. Let's see what she was saying in this video.
He's starting to consider a range of qualified individuals, so hopefully we'll have more soon. Go ahead.
2 tax questions for you. 17 House Democrats said earlier this week that they won't support any tax legislation or the component of the infrastructure plan that the president proposed unless it does away with the $10,000 SALT cap. I wanted to see if that's something the administration would consider.
LALATE, I don't understand this. yeah, you might be confused. There's 17 Democrats who want a SALT cap. They want the cap from the salt container. I don't understand this, LA. I just, it's the cap on the salt container. 17 Democrats want the cap on the salt container. But LA, I mean, you need a cap on the salt container. Otherwise, the salt goes everywhere. We need low sodium in this country. I'm a cow. And, when you are on the range, you do not want to add salt to things. So you put the cap on the salt so it doesn't spill everywhere. I don't know if that's the same type of cap they're talking about for salt, but let's listen into this very salty exchange from this press reporter about salt and their caps.
Well, I would say first, we welcome ideas. We welcome proposals from a range of members, and many of them.
LALATE, is this the same interview? No, it's a different one. She just has the same response. We welcome a range. Yeah, there's that word again, LALATE, range. Yeah, we welcome a range of ideas from different groups, and then we throw them in the wastebasket as soon as we get them. Let's listen more to the range of comments that they welcome.
Them have been quite vocal about their views on the SALT deduction as well, so we're familiar with them. There's a meeting later this afternoon with Ron Klain and Steve Ricchetti, I think with some of these members and others. There's a range of topics they'll discuss that are of interest.
She sure says word range a lot, LALATE. Yeah, she does say that word a lot. Yeah, it just reinforces who she really is. She's not necessarily a cow.
To them, and I'm sure I would guess they would raise this. We're also interested in proposals on how to pay for a package, and as you know, the SALT deduction would not be a revenue raiser, so they may come with proposals and ideas on that as well, but we're certainly happy to hear more from them on the impact and why they think this is so important to their states and communities.
LALATE, I don't understand this. No one wants salt, so why would they want more salt? I don't know, SIRLOIN. I mean, SIRLOIN, do you have a high sodium content? That's very personal, LALATE. You don't pay me enough to know my personal medical history on the show. Yeah. You're a cow. I don't know your personal medical history. I don't know if your slide of beef comes with salt on it. LALATE, that's just not funny. Sorry, SIRLOIN. Most people prefer things not salty. Yes, that's true. Blaine 66 would be among those people who would not put salt. Don't say his name, LALATE. We do not put salt on ribs. We're cows. We just eat them naturally. We don't eat each other. We eat grass naturally. It's very interesting, this sort of exchange with the president, SIRLOIN, because the president is, trying to say that he's welcoming a whole range of possibilities. Oh, yes, that is a word, LALATE. And then yet the press secretary can't really tell us who he's meeting with and what he's actually doing. I mean, what do you think about it? Sound vague? Is she being evasive? Or are these sort of faux negotiations? Do you think these are sort of fake negotiations and that they really aren't going on? It's sort of like a fake fur. You think it's fake fur? Elliot, I don't wear fake fur. I'm all natural. I am a cow, and all these spots you see on me, these are natural. Now Betty the cow, she had done a little work on her. She's done a little work on her. She's a Beverly Hills cow. So that's why she just looks a little bit, better nosed than the other cows. But no, I'm a real cow, and cows like to be real. And, if you want to talk about being on the range and a range of ideas, then as a cow, you actually set it. You actually do it. This exchange, LALATE, I really don't know. I really don't know. But does it get me more moolah? Well, no, it doesn't get you more moolah. You rather have no negotiations. You rather have reconciliation, because reconciliation was what gives you the big moolah across the board. Lily, put up the graphic. Oh, yeah, let me put up that graphic again. The big moolah that you would get if you got fourth stimulus, those monthly stimulus checks out the door. Here is that big graphic. Oh my goodness, LLA, I love that graphic. That is the moolah I need for that Mercedes. Yes, it's the moolah you need for that Mercedes. So did you buy any doggy coin since last night, SIRLOIN? No, I'm a cow. I do not buy doggy coin. But you do have the cow coin. That is your cryptocurrency, the cow coin. Yes, the cow coin and the moolah coin. The moolah coin. It sounds sort of Hawaiian. I don't know why. But I really appreciate your insight tonight, SIRLOIN and JOVITALATE, for giving us the latest updates on EIDL and what's not going through, and your insight, SIRLOIN, as to what you think about the press secretary and her response to negotiations. Will you join me tomorrow night, SIRLOIN? If you're not ranging around, it depends, Yellow. Yes. So long as you keep the cap on the salt. I will keep the cap on the salt. Thank you for joining me for SIRLOIN, and everyone else. Thank you for joining me on LA Late Night. See me tomorrow morning on Early Mornings LA, which will actually be informative, unlike this broadcast. And if you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video. And if you're not become a member, consider becoming a member or a cow. Stay informed, stay focused, and always stay of LA for more.